is incredible.
So I've got Wes Barker here with me, and we're gonna play-by-play our trick that we did for Ellen. Now, this trick happened in 4 phases.
Yeah.
Because we each wanted something to do in the trick.
We all wanted to perform for Ellen, so.
Exactly. If you want to watch the full uncut video, by the way, I left the link below. You can check it out. We're gonna break it down into parts. Leave a like, subscribe, and if you don't know already, Wes and I have a podcast called Bottom of the Barrel. You can find it on the internet, and this is. We left the link to the internet below. www.
Before we even start, though, just figure out how to sit like that so we could all be on camera.
Yeah, that's very true.
That was the first, like, a stupid thing that we're like, we all have to be able to have our faces seen.
We're currently in my office, and yeah, there's 4 of us on screen, so we did have to like figure out, okay, you know, usually you have the tall people in the back, but we were like, oh, okay, maybe it's better if you're hunched over in the front. I don't know.
That makes no sense.
Say that your tricks are insane. I really don't know how you do some of these things, so it's a great show. Who's who, and how did you all come together?
So I'm Chris. I'm Wes. I'm Eric. And I'm Alex. And we basically met at a magic convention. As nerdy as that sounds. At the bar.
It was the most scripted we've ever been.
It's so scripted. In a second, we're gonna reveal behind us, as you can see, there's like ladders and buckets propped up everywhere. Part of the trick is gonna happen there, but in order for that to happen, Alex and I are on wheelie chairs, and you guys are sat in the back because you guys are gonna go do the trick, right?
And you guys have to move so we can see it.
That's right.
Well, you know, Ellen, when we heard we were going to be on your show, we were freaking out. Still freaking out. We're still freaking out right now, actually. And because, as you know, for any entertainer, appearing on the Ellen show is at the top of everybody's bucket room. Bucket room material. Huge bucket room material. I know usually people say bucket list. Now, speaking of which, by the way, there we go. There we go. I have mine right.
All right. I don't think we need to explain how that worked. I think
that was the explanation we did.
Yeah, I think he explained it really well.
Stop saying bucket. But Ellen, this is.
You see how we just all split?
I know it looks like a green screen or a Zoom background, but this is the headquarters where we spend all our time creating tricks that we might perform.
And Eric and I are really trying to establish this whole space here, right? And like, it's so subtle, like, it doesn't really matter now, but it'll matter later.
It'll matter later so what they're doing, definitely. And also, it does look like a Zoom background and like
it could have just been nothing there.
Exactly. So this is a very weird location. It looks like some stock photo or something.
True.
Something that Dally would come up with.
So Ellen, that wasn't one of them actually. I found that on Amazon for $20. Ellen, you're the one that's going to pick a bucket because inside are different magic tricks. So we don't know what we're going to perform today. We're going to let you pick a bucket, any bucket. What do you think?
All right. Well, I just noticed the least conspicuous one is the stainless steel one over far left on the next to the white one. No, keep going.
This one over here.
Yeah. I just noticed it, so I'm going to say that one.
Ellen, that's a good choice. Let's see what you could have chosen. What do we have in here? We have, this one says, make fellow Canadian Justin Bieber appear. Maybe season 2. Maybe season 2.
Maybe not.
What else do we have? This one's just for the leak. And you really got to put that back. Right there. But you picked this one. Let's see what we have here. Oh, how convenient. Hey, that's weird. Card trick, that's weird. Is perform a card trick for Ellen.
Okay, this is so subtly cool. Sorry to jump in on this one. It's so interesting that without showing the buckets empty, we subtly do.
Yeah,
right?
you feel like they're empty
like Eric
because it's a free choice.
Yeah, a free choice. And Eric has one that's full of water. Then he dumps it into another one. So those two must have been, right? And then the one that this comes out of, I actually show that it's empty.
You actually show that it's empty.
And the other one, he pulled out a different sign that said something about Justin Bieber. So it really does feel empty, but they are not empty.
So how does this work?
So basically, this Justin Bieber sign right here is tucked into.
Which we still have.
Is tucked into 2 of the buckets. All right. Every single bucket has pick a card.
Yeah.
Except for 2 that also have the Justin Bieber one.
Exactly.
So no matter what she picks, we can show her a different bucket that says make Justin Bieber appear. Feels like that one's done.
Yeah.
And then any other bucket will have the pick a card.
Only the pick a card, so you can dump it out. So if she does end up choosing one of the buckets that had
Justin Bieber appear.
Yeah, make Justin Bieber appear. We have a backup Justin Bieber sign that we could just pull up. But what about the water ones?
This was Eric. I mean, you and Eric, but Eric was convinced he could pull it off.
Yeah.
But like, it just has water in it.
Yeah. Our out for that, had she picked one of those, we would have just been like, oh no, that one was for the leak.
Yeah, the joke still plays.
And we dump it into another bucket. And the joke still plays, but if she doesn't pick it, it becomes just more impossible that, hey, I could have picked a bucket filled with water. And so there's a lot of little subtleties. Even though the method was really simple, a lot of things canceled each other out.
Yeah.
And then adding this as a force, you know, to be like, hey, we already knew you were gonna choose a card trick is a nice little trick as well. Here we go.
Who's gonna do it? I'm gonna do the card trick, Ellen, and you're in luck. I'm gonna do it big trick energy style, which means, well, we'll get to that. But you can't really pick a card because you're where you are, where we are. But if you could name a card for me, just a random 1 to 52, whatever one you want.
10 of spades.
10 of spades. Great card. You sound like you had that ready to go. I'm glad. I don't know if it's your favorite card. You came to randomly, but I'm going to find a big trick energy style with my blindfold. That's very important.
That's getting interesting.
And my throwing knife.
Calm down, Wes.
Made a nice sound when you pulled
Good.
it.
You go over to the target, and we're going to find your card.
Wes, that target's a little high. Do you want a couple phone books to stand up on? Or...
The only phone we're going to use to get your phone's number.
Okay. Get out of there. All right, good luck, buddy. Good luck, Wes.
Okay.
This is funny.
I am over on this camera now, and I know people at home might be wondering, you cut to a camera, is it still live?
I'm gonna just slowly explain the setup here.
Yes.
Before we get into this trick. I won't tell you how the trick's done, we'll watch the trick first. All right, just to give you an example, this is where we're filming right now. As you can see, this was our bucket room. We had Wes, and we were all sitting here. We had two big white tables right here. We had the camera set up there, and over here, this is where Wes had to run around this way. This is where Wes actually threw the knife. For this trick, it only feels like there was 2 cameras, by the way, and we'll get to that in a second.
Right, yeah.
But there was a camera pointed over there. We wanted to misdirect this, pretend that Wes was on this side of the office, a different side of the office. But then we were also, things weren't working out, so we kept looking at Wes and...
Because I had to leave this way and then run around the back.
That's right.
And then you can hear it in the audio, though. I'm like, I'm over here now, and the audio is clearly on the wrong side.
That's right, yeah. We came up with this within a week.
Oh, yeah.
Less than a week. And we didn't have a production team. We had us and cameras, you know, and then the people that I got here. So I guess it's a production team, but definitely not like Hollywood production or anything. As you can see by the pictures here and the videos here, our cameras were propped up on books. Instead of monitors, we had mirrors reflecting the other screen so we could see what was going on. It was crazy that we got to do this on TV.
I would literally, you'll see why in the end, but I would put this trick up against any Zoom appearance for a magician.
Yeah.
Right? Not Zoom show, but any Zoom appearance.
Definitely.
This is, you'll see why.
Yeah, it's still live. So could you give me like a random word to repeat? That way people know it's live.
Orange.
Orange. There we go. Now we know it's live. It's not pre-recorded.
It's a great subtlety.
I got the,
Yeah.
cards on the target behind me.
Necessary, too.
I got my trusty blindfold, and we're gonna try and find your card. Big trick energy style. Hang on a second. I gotta find out where I am. All right, there's the board. Here we go. Throwing knife. Board.
You got this, buddy.
Let's go, Wes.
Here we go.
Hey!
Oh, my God.
Woo!
Lucky you didn't get the cat.
Hey, you want it right there in the middle here. Let's see. I'm just scared to look. That's how you did, bud. Hey!
Oh my God.
She's so fooled here, which is great.
Yep.
And it was so nerve-wracking. Before I walked over to the target, and I'm saying to her, like, oh, 10 of spades, good choice. Felt like you have that ready to go. We're trying to make little jokes. Even Eric and I make a joke about my height that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But we need to give it time, because the method for this trick is all of those cards are the 10 of spades. We had my wife pull out 52 decks of cards and put on all of the same cards on every single one of these different boards, right? And then we had them organized back there. Oh, that's for a different trick. And then we had them organized back there, all laid out. So every one of these panels represents every single
card. So there's basically 26 panels that are front to back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't want to use 52.
That's right.
Yeah, and then we had, I think we had Antoine, was it Antoine go back there? He just had to be sure we labeled everything. It was all sort of spread out. And in the time that you ran over, which mind you was a little bit longer than we would have liked it, it should have been a little quicker. But in that time, it feels like that just kind of goes out of your head. And secondly, you throwing the knife is such an uncertainty too, but it's also a skill.
Yeah, so it does feel like we just switched camera angles, and we did, but it was a bit of a runaround. I wish we were rolling on the behind the scenes of Antoine.
And that trick could have been a pre-recorded trick, which is why Wes asks her to say a random word that he can repeat, because we could have just pressed a button and it would go to a pre-recorded video, and we recorded a video with every single playing card.
Right.
And so we did that version, but in live with every single different playing card.
Yeah, it would have been totally easy to do that other version you're talking about, like
Yeah.
the way we didn't do it, and it would have been easier.
Yeah.
And to the audience might have played the same.
Yes.
Because I don't think they realize, people forget, but throwing a knife is not easy. I was not good at it. I only got these throwing knives like 2 weeks before we started doing this, and I was
Actually, we had rehearsals and you didn't get it.
No, I was like 5 hours standing here just bouncing them off the wall. I couldn't
Yeah.
get one to stick, but I was like so excited, and I was just like, why would I miss? I'm not gonna miss.
Yeah.
But in my heart, my heart was pounding.
And what could have happened there too is that the knife could have landed beside a card, which you would have had to say, you would have had to make a call. Do you want this one or this one?
Yeah.
Or like, and that becomes weird.
Yeah, then
So
you want to show. Oh yeah.
the fact that you planted it in a card is great, is the best way it could have
I
done.
never doubted myself.
And then there's the end of the trick here.
Oh yeah.
Now that was pretty fine and dandy, if you ask me.
You say fine and dandy?
Instantly regret.
That's actually bucket list material. We have here on my list, Chris will say fine and dandy. After West line,
So
I forgot about that.
yeah, at this point, literally Alex is just writing down 10 of spades. As soon as it swaps to the other camera, Alex is writing this down, folds it back up. It plays like a magic trick, even though you're like, oh, you feel like that envelope's been in view, I guess, the whole time. Like, it doesn't feel like you just wrote that down. for
Yeah,
some reason.
actually, why is that? That's good. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that.
it's just a nice little funny gag that we added with the fine and dandy. We wanted to make everything scripted and sort of funny for TV. All right.
Can we get some subtitles for Alex?
Can you say that again in English?
Those are the subtitles, I think.
All right. Actually, one thing that's way up on our bucket list, Alan, and something we've thought about for a long time is we'd love to take a road trip with you eventually. So that's actually, we're going to take a road trip with Alan. Obviously, after this pandemic, right now, all we can do is practice. And so, Alan, in your studio, you should have a giant map of the United States, and you should have a single dart. So we'll wait till that's wheeled out.
This is such a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so Ellen,
Yes.
before you throw that dart onto the map, we're going to read this. We're going on a road trip with Ellen to an undisclosed location, and underneath we have a quarter.
Did you hear the email sound?
Yeah, what was that?
Someone got an email. Look at Eric and you look at each other. We go back here.
Oh,
Throw that dart onto
So
the
funny.
map.
We're in my office.
We're going to read this. We're going on a road trip with Ellen to an undisclosed location. We have a quarter. This is in case anything goes wrong. It's basically our emergency fund. It's also Alex's entire life savings. It's kind of gross. Okay, so here we go, Ellen. Wherever you like, take the dart and just throw it on the dartboard.
All right, let's see.
Drum roll, boys.
It's going
Did you hit it?
Illinois.
Illinois, nice. Okay.
I hear that's lovely this time of year.
I guess so. I've never been to Illinois, but let's see what it says on here.
that's crazy.
Alex, you forgot to write the thing.
Whose job was it?
Hold on. We said this was our emergency fund should something go wrong. Ellen, this is no normal quarter. This is actually a state quarter. And if you have a look at that, let me know if you see that, you can read that. Boop. On the top of the quarter, it should say something.
Illinois.
Here, and Alex, that can go right back in your piggy bank. I actually need that. Don't spend it all.
Okay.
So good.
Before we move on, what we wanted to create with this, we didn't want there to be any forces really. Because it's really hard to force sort of anyone through the screen and it makes things awkward and it's like you're using another prop. So we wanted everything to be sort of name this out loud, do that, do something. And everything's a free choice from the bucket, from the playing card
Yep.
to the states that she hit with the dart. Those were all free choices, completely free choices. And it it's very difficult to do tricks like that, not only in person, but online normally, right? Because it's to get them to believe you that it's a free choice. And
yeah, and like the stuff that you can do is like you can you take your deck of cards up to the camera and be like, just say stop somewhere, and that just feels like we have a grand old big TV show, and here, just please say stop over here.
Exactly.
That felt too dumb.
Yeah.
So then Chris is like, well, we'll get a map in her studio.
Yeah.
She's in there. She's getting up off her seat. She's doing
you just
something.
finished throwing a knife. You know, we got like all sorts of cool things going on.
It feels big. It's
Yeah.
in her.
That coin trick, which was really cool, the method for that is basically the same method as we had for the card trick. We had every single state quarter laid out in alphabetical order next to me on the table, as you can see here. And I had somebody off camera hand it to me, and basically with sleight of hand, I was able to switch out the other quarter, which was stuck under the tape. Really impressive.
So insane that, you see, if you watch this back, you'll see Eric makes a joke at you, same as he did for me, to give the person time to find you the
Exactly.
thing. Right? It's a small little thing, you're like, why is that joke in there? Even if it's kind of funny.
Because then it's not.
gives you some
Then it's
time.
not just, oh, really? Why did you choose that? Is that a? You know, it becomes weird. So I had somebody load. Let's have a look here. So somebody's already getting this ready.
You can see you thinking.
Yeah. I already had it.
Yeah.
It took 2 seconds there, which was great.
Now, you having to make that switch, it's the closest thing to the camera.
Yeah.
That is such a scary. We were all, me and Eric in the back. You probably can't see us, but we're both just like this, like you waiting for me to hopefully hit something
Yeah.
with the throwing
Yep.
knife. Same thing. I'm back there being like, as if you're gonna switch a quarter this close to a lens.
Yeah.
And you do it so free, man. It looks so
What
good.
is magic without a little bit of risk, right?
That's-
We're all
I love
risking
it.
a little bit, risk it for the biscuit. And at this point, I mean, we've already created an amazing show. I feel like we've already, had an amazing performance and appearance on the Ellen Show. Everything went off without a hitch. We wanted to add a final button. And I'll play this out and we'll go back here in a second to watch.
I actually need that. Don't spend it all.
You guys, that is incredible. That is amazing. Is there one more trick after this? Yeah, all right, we're gonna take a break. Oh my God, I love this. We'll be back after this with one more trick. We're back with Chris, Eric, Wes, and Alex from Big Trick Energy, and you have one more thing to show us. I can't wait. What is it?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. We're on cloud nine right
Yeah,
now.
this is like legitimately, has been a part of our bucket room, and I'm so glad you came into our bucket room to witness it. But this show's not just about our friendship or about the magic, but also there's something we like doing, and that is lifting the veil on magic a little bit to give people a glimpse of what goes on behind. Because there's a lot of work that goes behind these magic tricks. And I'm sure the audience at home is probably guessing on how we do some of these things. And if you think that this is all just smoke and mirrors, well, guess what? You're absolutely right. More smoke! We need more smoke and more mirrors, guys. Come on! Thanks for joining us in our bucket room.
I wish we didn't cut to commercial break.
So the plan was we didn't want to cut to commercial break. They asked us, they're like, do you have whatever it was, 7 minutes of magic? And we had rehearsed it to the point where we got it within like 10, 15 second, range. We were very tight with this. So when we did this, it was all great. But then as we're recording, we're realizing, they're going to cut to commercial at the worst possible time. Because we had prepared this backdrop. Now, do you remember at the beginning, Wes told you it'll be important, the fact that we ran around behind the scenes to show you that there was
Picking
depth.
up the buckets, holding things.
It was a small subtlety, but it was a necessary subtlety we needed to do. However, for those of you who are maybe a little bit more aware or got a better eye, you might have noticed the background had already been switched by the time Wes was done with his card trick. And this is the reason we had 2 cameras, which were pretty much at the exact same spot, but opposite, because we ran around here and we had this giant canvas over on this side. And so that when Wes was done with his trick, we'd cut to camera number 3 instead of cutting back to camera number 1, and we'd be sitting essentially here. Now take a look at the background here. That is a fake background. So for this entire coin trick, most of you probably didn't even notice this, and that was the printed out background that we had. So we were ready to keep going with our trick and be like, oh, we got one more thing for you without cut.
It's the best kind of reveal, one that you've been staring at and didn't notice. Oh man,
Yeah.
we worked it so good.
But the fact that we had to come back for commercial break, you know, the audience at home watching, I mean, they're kind of like, oh, they could have done that during commercial break. That's not really a trick. It is kind of pathetic when you think about it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys know that that background was switched way earlier and we were ready, I thought that was a really nice touch.
I think so too. And when you go back and now look at the original part of this, you're like, whoa, they look quite a bit different. Like the lighting's,
Yeah.
we had to take that picture 3 days before
Yeah.
this, and this whole room had to stay set up with the buckets and everything. We're like, nobody move anything in this office
Not
for
even
3
an inch.
days.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
We had that. We had. I think Eric had a friend in Ottawa who printed it. He drove it up. Like it was, and we were laying it out. We're like, I hope this works. And then obviously we had the rest of some friends and employees here in the background, you know, waving smoke and mirrors and with the bunny hat. We thought that was just such a fun reveal at the end of it all.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm proud of this, man. I'm really, every time I watch it, it's one of the few things that I can watch without getting cringed out too bad.
Absolutely.
I go like, this is good.
It's good magic.
And if we had to go in studio, I don't think we would have got all 4 of us involved as well.
That's right.
Right? Because it's really hard. Imagine we're all sitting 4 of us on the couch being like, hey, it's my turn to show you a trick now, Alan. Or here, Chris will shuffle them. I'll
We
cut
would
them.
have found a way.
I know.
It would have been like, I would have made like a human pyramid with us or something and done something stupid or.
You're right. It would have been way better. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to feel better about it.
I know. This is fantastic. Guys, let us know what you thought about this performance. Some of the best times of our lives. We were on literally cloud 9 on Ellen as magic performers, and we had to come up with original magic. But yeah, let us know what you thought. Any final words?
No.
Cool.
I don't know, man.
No.
We said it all.
Subscribe to Wes. Go find him on his channel. And if you haven't checked us out already, we got a podcast. We talk about comedy magic. We also talk about conspiracies and all sorts of other things. It's called Bottom of the Barrel. This is our studio. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.
7, 6, 7, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 6, 1. Please welcome Chris, Aaron, Wes, and Alex. Hi. First of all, I have to say that your tricks are insane. I really don't know how you do some of these things, so great job. Who's who and how did you all come together?
So I'm Chris. I'm Wes. I'm Eric. And I'm Alex. And we basically met at a magic convention.
As dirty as that sounds. At the bar.
At the bar. This is the aftermath of performing for Ellen. We used up the entire office space.